Hi, this is Noelle Ticky, and I am recording the video for the HR interview that I conducted this week. I interviewed Tiffany O'Hara from Des Moines Public Schools, who is a director within our HR department. So a few of the things that surprised me about the interview is Tiffany feels very strongly that in order to effectively do her job, she needs the experience of being a teacher in the classroom, of being an educator, that kind of relational skills that she has with understanding the challenges that our educators face every day. So she feels very strongly that that's something that she brings to work with her every day, is that reminder that she still sees herself as an educator first and an HR administrator second. She talks about the importance of really being able to live in the gray. So while a lot of our HR policies are very black and white, in Des Moines we have pretty articulated procedures in place. She talked about the importance of needing to peel back the layer of any situation before making or drawing any conclusions. And so she spends a lot of time seeking to understand and asking the right questions. Something that surprised me in regard to challenges is she went on for quite some time about her frustration around other leaders in the district not being willing to lead, in her words, and basically throwing the district under the bus when times got tough. So when they were asked to have a difficult conversation with a teacher, or they were asked to enact an improvement plan, in some cases they would blame HR for making the teacher feel uncomfortable versus owning that decision and standing behind it. So she also struggles that HR is also perceived as a silo in many cases, and I think that's also related to the size of Des Moines, which wouldn't be as big of an issue in a smaller district. She loves working with people, and I guess you don't really get into HR if you don't like the human side of human resources. But she talked frequently about the impact that she still feels that they have in the classroom. One of her most compelling arguments that I guess I haven't put a lot of thought into is we spend so much time thinking about professional development, whereas HR thinks about how can we hire the very best people so that we don't have to spend so many resources developing the adults in the organization. So her quote was, "If you hire the wrong people, you will spend your entire career developing talent. We need to grow people, but not try to develop basic competencies." So we all know the importance of a good hire, certainly, but they've put a lot of metrics in place to ensure the validity of how we select candidates. So that's something I think that has been the biggest shift in HR over the last few years. Is it's no longer related to who you know or what kind of recommendations you have within the system. She talked about the dangers in that and how that just feeds the inequities of our workforce, because then we just tend to hire people exactly like us. And so because our goal is equity and because we want to diversify our workforce, it's really important that we use those metrics as we're screening candidates to find the most skilled folks who may or may not look like us, may or may not have the same backgrounds as us, and certainly that's desirable, which wasn't always the case. She talked about taking a lot of effort in the pipeline work, and so something Des Moines has done is implemented a 3D program and a Dream to Teach, which is Dream to Teach is actually targeting middle school students of color who might be interested in the education field, and we work with them, we mentor them, we support them in higher ed with the hopes that they'll come back and teach in Des Moines. So I've actually had firsthand experience with that program, and it's really exciting to see 7th and 8th grade kids and students of color tell us early that they know that they want to come back and teach in Des Moines, and so we keep tabs on them and we follow them. We also have a 3D program, which is a partnership with Drake and DMAC, where persons of color can get their degree and then have immediate access to the interview process in Des Moines, because we want to attract those people back to the district. A lot of them are already working in the district, either as an associate or another position, but this allows them to get their degree and come back in a professional capacity. The last thing that we discussed is the implications of Chapter 20. I'm really proud of the stance that Des Moines has taken, that just because we don't have to do the things that we used to have to do under the bargaining agreements, it doesn't mean we shouldn't. And so Des Moines believes that we have to invest in our teachers. We have to treat them well. We have to treat them fairly. And not just our teachers, all of the employees, because we want to be the most attractive place to work in Iowa. So I respect that stance. I appreciate that even though the bargaining agreements won't stay in place, we're still approaching all of our agreements with fairness to keep staff at the end of the day. So I enjoyed hearing her perspective. Even though we work together, we don't always get a chance to talk about these things. So I did learn a lot about our own organization and hearing a new perspective.